It is 3 in the morning, and your eyes are closed. You're breathing slow and even, completely unaware of anything happening around you, but across the room, or maybe right beside you, your dog is not fully asleep at all. His eyes are open, just barely, tracking the rise and fall of your chest in the dark. If you have ever woken briefly in the night and caught your dog already watching you, you already know there is something happening while you sleep that you were never meant to see, and most of it has been happening for years without you noticing a single moment of it. Most people assume their dog sleeps the same way they do, drifting off at bedtime and staying mostly unconscious until morning, maybe shifting position once or twice, maybe dreaming a little, nothing more complicated than that. It is a reasonable assumption, since your dog's eyes are usually closed right alongside yours when the lights go out. But here is the surprising part. Researchers studying canine sleep patterns have found that a dog's night looks nothing like a simple, uninterrupted block of rest. It is layered, active, and in several specific ways, quietly built around you the entire time. Thing number 1 is the watching itself, and it is more literal than most owners realize. Dogs cycle through much shorter sleep phases than humans, moving in and out of light sleep far more frequently across the night. Researchers studying canine sleep architecture have found that these repeated surfacing moments often align with small changes in their environment, including a sleeping owner's movement or breathing pattern shifts. During these brief surfacing windows, many dogs open their eyes, check their surroundings, and specifically orient toward their person before settling back down. You are not imagining it when you catch him already looking at you in the dark. His sleep cycle is built to resurface just often enough to check. You have probably experienced this yourself without realizing what you were witnessing, waking briefly to adjust your pillow and finding 2 eyes already open, watching you from across the room or from the foot of the bed. That moment feels almost eerie the first time you notice it, but here is the deeper question worth asking. If dogs simply slept the way we assume they do, this repeated checking should not exist at all. Thing number 2 happens through the body rather than the eyes, a slow, repeated repositioning through the night specifically to maintain physical contact with you. Many owners fall asleep with their dog several feet away and wake to find him pressed against a foot, a leg, or the small of the back, and this shift rarely happens just once. Behaviorists who study nighttime proximity in dogs describe this as an ongoing contact maintenance pattern, small adjustments made across multiple sleep cycles specifically to restore or preserve touch that shifted during either of your movements. Your dog is not simply settling into one spot and staying there. Some part of him is quietly renegotiating distance all night long, always in the direction of closer. But there is something even stranger than repositioning, something that shows up specifically in dogs who consider themselves responsible for the household while everyone else is unconscious. Thing number 3 is positional guarding, and it explains why so many dogs choose to sleep somewhere other than curled directly beside their person, at the foot of the bed, facing the bedroom door, or on the floor near the entrance to the room. This is not rejection. Trainers who study canine sleep positioning describe this as a deliberate vantage point, a dog placing himself where he can monitor both his person and the most likely point of entry into the space at the same time. Dogs who sleep this way often show subtle alertness to sounds outside the room that a dog curled tightly against you might miss entirely, ears flicking toward hallway noises, head lifting at a distant door closing somewhere else in the house, a low growl sometimes surfacing before fully waking if something outside the ordinary pattern of the house occurs. This reframes something many owners have quietly wondered about without ever finding a satisfying answer: the dog who seems to prefer the floor over the bed despite every opportunity to climb up beside you. He may not be choosing distance over closeness at all. He may be choosing a different kind of closeness, the kind that involves standing guard rather than staying pressed against you, both instincts pulling from the exact same underlying devotion, just expressed through different positioning depending on what he has decided the room needs from him that particular night. Thing number 4 involves timing rather than position, and researchers studying sleep synchrony between species have found something worth sitting with. Dogs sleeping in the same room as their owner tend to show brief waking moments that cluster around their owner's own movements, shifting in bed, a change in breathing during a dream, even a change in heart rate detectable through subtle shifts in your own restlessness. This does not mean your dog wakes every time you do, but the correlation shows up often enough across sleep studies to suggest his nervous system stays loosely tethered to yours even during rest, arousal in one of you nudging a small ripple of arousal in the other. Thing number 5 is the quietest of all, and the one owners are least likely to ever witness directly: a soft, brief check of your scent, a nose lowered near your face or hand during one of those light sleep surfacing moments described earlier. A dog's sense of smell operates on a scale so far beyond human capability that even subtle changes in breath, skin, or sweat carry information most people will never have access to. Veterinarians who study scent detection in dogs have documented their ability to notice changes in a person's breath tied to blood sugar shifts, oncoming illness, and other physiological changes long before symptoms become obvious to the person experiencing them. A quiet, half-asleep sniff near your face in the middle of the night may be exactly what it looks like, a small, automatic check to confirm that everything about you still smells the way it is supposed to. Translate all 5 of these together, because the pattern connecting them says something larger than any single behavior on its own: the watching, the repositioning toward contact, the guard position at the door, the sleep synced loosely to your own, the quiet scent check in the dark. None of these happen because your dog distrusts the safety of the room. They happen because some part of him never fully powers down the part of his mind responsible for you, even while the rest of his body rests. This is the truth the title of this video promised from the very first second. The strange things your dog does while you sleep are not glitches in his rest or signs of anxiety needing correction. They are quiet, constant proof of a bond that does not pause simply because your eyes are closed, evidence that some part of his attention stays fixed on you through every hour of the night, in ways you were never meant to notice because you were by definition asleep while it happened. So the next time you wake for a moment in the dark and catch 2 eyes already watching you, or find him pressed a little closer than where he started the night, you will understand exactly what you are witnessing: a devotion so constant it does not even take a break while you dream. If this surprised you, tell me in the comments which of these 5 things you have actually caught your own dog doing, because I want to know how many of you are realizing this happens every single night without you ever noticing. If this gave you a new way of understanding your dog, subscribe, because there is a lot more of this kind of story still to come, and hit like so more owners who have never thought about their dog's nighttime habits can finally see what has been happening all along.